First of all, the Austrians and many Germans know this as the Sechsviertel Missa, the Mass in 6/4, because no other Mass starts in 6/4, the meter 6/4. And Werner at that time was about 56, 57 years old. And when the Prince hired Haydn, you can imagine, Werner thought, wait a minute, who is this hotshot young kid, 29, 30 years old, going to come into my palace and work for my prince when I am the director of music? The prince said to Haydn, I want you to be my music director and composer, but Werner has been good to me, he's a good composer, and you will do nothing that will get in his way. Werner will be the chief of the church music here in the palace. It was only in the palace. He worked in the little organ loft that we will go into in just a moment. And he said to Haydn, he will continue with all the church music. You will do what they call Kammermusik. So you will take care of the chamber music, write some symphonies, many baritone solos for me. I would like to see you every morning, and I'll tell you what your duties are for that day. And Haydn reported every morning. Haydn got a new official costume. Haydn's chorus and orchestra were the best musicians in Europe. They were the best paid. They all had health insurance. Not Obama health insurance, but Esterhazy health insurance. They all had a doctor. They all had the latest medicines. And many of them had housing or some sort of stipend for food and housing. So they were well thought of, and they were known in Europe as the band of professors because they were so good. For instance, they were so good, the final 6 big masses, you know, of Haydn, they had one rehearsal. And those are long pieces. Now, I don't know how long the rehearsals were. They might have been really quite long. But they only had one of them. Haydn handed his manuscript to his copyist named Essler, Johann Essler. And he would hand the parts, he did this all his life, to Essler. Essler was very good as a copyist. He wrote out the parts that you will see this morning. Then Haydn would make quick corrections of one kind or another. Essler would change them, and that's the parts that you will see this morning. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Could I see a trumpet part, please?
Trumpet.
It was not in the original parts, they were added.
No. Is that the last time? Years ago, the second last week.
Set up here, and maybe their kids or relatives or something, but the guests would sit down below. And it's the same in the Bergkirche. The royalty never entered in the bottom with the commoners. They always were above, so they didn't have to go through the congregation.
That's why we have the boxes.
Ready? Yeah, ready.
Stop benching me.
Okay. Yeah, that's